Welcome to this edition of Northwest Real Estate Forum. I'm your host, Patricia Wangsness. Our passion is to help you understand the art, science, and timing of real estate by bringing you relevant topics and experts with up-to-date information impacting your biggest asset, your home. Our guest today is Dennis Connor. Dennis has spent 23 years in visual design, merchandising, and store planning for a prominent Northwest retailer. In May of 2000, Dennis created Design Dialogue. Offering a variety of design services, his passion is his unique approach in working with existing furnishings and accessories to show how stylish one's belongings can look and feel. Design Dialogue is as much about emotional aspects of space as it is about design. Through personal dialogues, each client's unique needs are identified. Using existing furnishings in innovative ways and through artful editing and placement, a home and office can be transformed into a truly inspired and stylish space. Welcome, Dennis.
Thanks for having me, Patricia.
So you and I have worked together a number of years with a lot of clients, and mostly I bring you in when a client is getting ready to sell their home, and we want to make it the best it can be. So what are some of the things that you do that help clients get the magic that are your results?
Well, I've always believed that people's possessions have a power. Oftentimes I've seen realtors suggest to clients that they take everything out of their home and bring in new stuff. I am of the belief that their objects can make all the difference in the world. How it's positioned, how the room or the space flows, all of those things make an impact on a potential buyer. When I was in retail, we used to make reference to compelling presentation all the time. So when I help a client present their home for sale, my objective is to make this home universally appealing. So oftentimes objects that might be less desirable to a potential buyer, i.e. Gothic artwork or things that might be of a nature that would be off-putting, I remove those things. If I could just share with you, I had an opportunity to present a 4-story Tudor home for 2 doctors. They were both avid art collectors. He collected very Gothic, dark art, and she collected folk art. And as I walked through their home, I explained to the husband, I hope you appreciate your art probably will not be included in presenting your home for sale because it will turn off too many potential buyers. And when we were done, the home just sang because we used all of his wife's folk art, which is very happy, colorful, cheerful. So the home was beautiful when it was done, thanks to her art.
Well, terrific. So I know, I believe it or not, I had a client who actually had a skeleton on the couch in her living room because it was a family joke, but I explained to her that that doesn't really go along with what a lot of people, it might scare children and it might be off-putting for some people. They might be a little concerned. So the things that people have that are of a personal nature, that are very dramatic, should be removed?
Generally speaking, I think a lot of people understand that you don't want a lot of family photographs up. I suggest to people all the time that if a potential buyer only has a second of their time to look at this home, do you want them looking at your family photographs or do you want them looking at the fireplace you're trying to sell them? So anytime there's an issue where there's competition between personal objects and the home, I certainly opt for trying to showcase the home. I've been asked to speak to many groups of people, and I tell them all the time that you can get a potential buyer to look anywhere. Just put something interesting there. And conversely, if you don't want somebody to look at something, don't draw their attention to it.
Now, you practice a certain kind of feng shui. I hear feng shui all the time, and I deal with certain clients that have the strict, traditional meaning of feng shui, but you kind of have a special way of you dealing with that.
After I left retail and learned about feng shui, I studied it extensively and found that there was something referred to as intuitive feng shui. And I've felt space my entire life since childhood, and I find that everybody has intuitive sense about objects in space, which is why the primary objective of my business was to help people realize the potential of what they already owned, understanding that what they surround themselves with are things that they are drawn to, colors they like, textures they like. So I'm in the business of trying to really showcase that, whether it's to sell the home or for somebody to live in their home. And as I mentioned earlier, to replace personal objects with things that are brought in just for the sole purpose of presenting a home, I find counterproductive. If I could just mention briefly, plants are a wonderful addition to a home relative to feng shui, and I can think of very few opportunities where you wouldn't want to have greenery in a home. It could be on a windowsill. It could be sitting on a coffee table. They don't have to be big plants necessarily. Just the touch of green in a home can make a huge difference to soften the edges of the architecture and or of furniture. And the other thing I would want to mention is lighting, especially living in the Northwest. You know, we have a lot of cloudy days, and I've found myself in many instances desperately wanting more lamps that I could put around a space, because those pools of light actually create a wonderful ambiance.
Yeah, well, actually, I try for my clients when they're selling their home, if they know there's going to be a showing, ask them to put all the lights on when they leave so that the buyer, when they come in, they can see the warmth of light. So the nice part about what you do, not only is it for when somebody's selling the home, but they get to enjoy something new and different when they're living in their home, because selling can be a stressful process. So Dennis, I want to thank you very much, and I want to have you come back so that you can tell us about what we do after we sell the home and we move into our new home. Thanks for watching this edition of Northwest Real Estate Forum. Whether you are buying, selling, or sitting on the sidelines, keep watching for important information on topics that are impacting your biggest asset, your home. To learn more about this and other shows, please visit us at northwestrealestateforum.com. While you're there, be sure to order your free copy of the Buyer's Guide and Seller's Guide for great ideas on how to get the most out of buying and selling your home. I'm your host, Patricia Wangsness. See you next time.